They're zany, they're irreverent, but most of all, they're loony. And for 90 years, these crazy cartoon characters have made fans, young and old, across many generations to laugh themselves to tears, including this guy right here. And today we're talking about 10, count them, 10 mind-blowing facts about the Looney Tunes, from rival companies to rules about certain cartoons that the animators had. You're not going to want to miss this, but first, don't forget to subscribe, share, like, comment at the end if you want. But let's dive in. You know Bugs Bunny, you know Daffy Duck, you know the rest of the gang, etc., etc. But did you know none of those characters existed when Looney Tunes started? And if it wasn't for another company, Looney Tunes may not be here today. Can you guess the company? That's right. If Looney Tunes was born out of a rebellious desire from Warner Brothers to outdo none other than Walt Disney and his company, who were killing it in the 1920s. They had characters like Pete, Mickey, and others, and also told enchanting stories. So what do you do if you're Warner Brothers? Do you lay down and say, no, we're just gonna stay here and not make money on the animation thing? Disney, you could kill us right now. Or are you going to gird up your loins and say, no, Disney, take your silly symphonies and stick them where the sun don't shine, and we're going to start Looney Tunes. It's going to be wacky, irreverent, and zany. It's going to be our trademark. We're kind of going to take Mickey Mouse and make Bosco out of him, and he's going to be our first star. I guess that's what happened, because the rivalry went on for decades and went so far that when Fantasia was released in 1940, Looney Tunes actually mocked it, with Corny Concerto released around the same time, starring Elmer Fudd, who looked very similar to Deems Taylor, the musical critic and composer. Which goes to show that rivalries bring out the best in animation departments or in anything, and the fans win overall. Elmer Fudd was the proverbial punching bag for both Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck. So much so that after years of humiliation and torture, well, audiences and animators alike began to feel sorry for the hapless hunter. So, what do you do in response? Well, animators took it upon themselves to create a new, more formidable foe. And the inspiration comes from an unlikely source, someone within. Director Fritz Freeling, who was known for his short stature, fiery temper, and mustache. And although he would deny it, his daughter and animators both confirmed that he was the inspiration for this character. But this character couldn't be just fiery. He had to be conniving. He had to be kind of evil. Willing to get his hands dirty. Willing to tear down the orphanage and the old folks' home. And in 1945, he would make his debut in the short Hair Trigger, and became one of the more popular characters, starring in over 33 cartoons. I'm talking about none other than Yosemite Sam, who is one of my personal favorites. Bugs Bunny could outwit anybody. We're talking Elmer Fudd, Yosemite Sam, Tasmanian Devil, Daffy Duck, etc., etc. But there was one character who always got the best of him. And from 1941 to 1947, this character encountered Bugs 3 times, embarrassing him every time. I'm talking about Cecil the Turtle, who isn't really popular, but I enjoy his episodes. In his first appearance in 1941, Tortoise Beats the Hare, well, Cecil gets his family to help him win the race. In the second episode, Bugs Bunny gets a gang of rabbits to help him, but instead of beating up Bugs Bunny, Cecil, who's dressed up as Bugs Bunny, they beat up Bugs Bunny, who's dressed as Cecil. And Cecil wins. Finally, in the third episode, Rabbit Transit, well, Bugs Bunny does win, but he admits to going 100 miles an hour in a 30-mile-an-hour zone and gets arrested, which goes to show that sometimes being overconfident can be your undoing. Tex Avery is one of the more accomplished and influential animators of all time, creating Droopy Dog and creating the zany, intense humor that Looney Tunes was known for. The only problem is he lied to get his job and had almost no experience as a director, if he had any. If you go on a job board today, I mean, you're gonna need, thousands of years of experience and something higher than a PhD to even have a chance to be looked at. But Avery actually slipped through the cracks, got a director job, and I'm glad that he did, because he created some memorable cartoons. I remember the Billy Goat cartoon, there's countless Bugs Bunny, so kudos to lying on your resume. Wile E. Coyote's epic pursuit of the Roadrunner were some of the best cartoons in Looney Tunes history. And this is probably due to the fact that, things were simple and a set of rules that creator Chuck Jones created. He decided that these cartoons needed to follow a simple set of rules, such as Roadrunner could never physically harm Wile E. Coyote. He could only beep beep and make Wile E. Coyote or the Acme gadgets hurt him. Gravity would be his greatest enemy, Wile E. Coyote's, I mean. There would be the fact that there would be no speaking. Everything would be taking place mostly in the southwest desert of the United States, among other rules. But this goes to show you that sometimes simplicity is the best way to tell a story. Mel Blanc is a legendary voice actor. There's a reason his name is the man of 1,000 voices. I mean, the guy voiced everything for nearly 50 years. There was one thing about voicing Bugs Bunny, though, that he didn't particularly like. Carrots. He hated the taste of carrots. And after every take, after he would say, "What's up, Doc?" he would spit it out. So, sound designers decided that they would try to find something to alleviate Mr. Blanc while also keeping the sound of a carrot, to no avail. So, Mr. Blanc endured a lifetime of punishment for our entertainment. Kudos to you. With so many popular cartoons to choose from, you would think that either Bugs Bunny or Daffy Duck would have the most Academy Award wins. But you would be wrong. It's none other than the suffering succotash cat himself, Sylvester, who has the most award wins. With Tweety Pie, Speedy Gonzales, and finally, Birds Anonymous, Sylvester is the most award-winning cartoon character in Looney Tunes history. Throughout human history, words have changed their meaning over and over, and Looney Tunes was responsible for at least one of these changes. The word Nimrod comes from the Bible book of Genesis, where the man Nimrod was actually a capable hunter for God. He was strong, great leadership, he was intelligent, all things that don't describe Elmer Fudd. But Bugs Bunny would ironically call him Nimrod, and things would begin to change over the years. Now, Nimrod means someone who's incapable, inept, incompetent, all negative things to describe someone. Which goes to show you that words do change, and just how culturally impactful the Looney Tunes were. With an insatiable appetite, a knack for destruction, and the vocabulary of, for lack of a better term, a toddler, these are the ingredients of one of the more popular characters in Looney Tunes, the Tasmanian Devil. But despite his popularity, he had a limited run in the original golden age of the series, only appearing in 5 cartoons. And this may have been because animators had already developed characters, and by 1954, well, it was kind of hard to develop a new character. Also, animators may have felt that he was one-dimensional. There's only so much you can do with someone who barely talks, who just destroys things and escapes from the zoo multiple times. Despite that, he became very popular, and even in 1990, he got his own spin-off series, his own video game, which goes to show you that sometimes less is more, and even just giving them a little bit of what people want can make for a great character. Marvin the Martian made his debut in 1948's Daredevil Hair. Despite this though, he was just referred to as the Martian and didn't get a name until the 1960s due to media and other ventures such as merchandising. But he did distinguish himself as a memorable character with his personality and lines like, "Where's the kaboom? There was supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom." This helped him become a legendary character in the Looney Tunes universe. Thanks again, guys, for watching, and if you guys are looking for something else to watch, I have more videos, and I'll point them out right here. I'll put the link up there, but you guys all have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.